Let's all collectively take a breath. I know that you've been holding your breath. I know that you're stressed. I know it. I can feel it. I can feel it from across the lens that you've been stressed. Don't be. We're here. You're here with me. Okay? No reason to be stressed. And I know why you're stressed because one of the most common things that I hear from new creators or folks who want to get into content creation but they haven't yet is that they don't have the technical skills, that recording gear is too complicated, that it's too overwhelming, and they don't want to get into content creation because of that reason alone. And it's pretty understandable. You go to YouTube and you see a bunch of YouTube chicos with a lot of knowledge about tech and branding and showing off their $5,000 YouTube setup. And you see like all of these people just being so knowledgeable about equipment, and you just panic. And it's okay. It's okay to panic. But I want you to breathe. Once again, let's breathe. And then you go to Google. Then you make the mistake of going to Google, and it's even worse. It's even worse. And let me tell you, 30% of aspiring creators, they don't start because they have the same problem. And this is from a study that was conducted last year. 37% of people don't start making content because they're terrified of the gear. So I thought that we want to remove this gear once and for all, and we're going to do it here. We are going to do it together, and that is not going to stop you anymore from making your content, from recording your videos, your video podcast, from recording your video podcast, or from recording videos for YouTube. Okay? No more of that. No more of that. So today we are getting cozy with gear. We are going to remove the fear out of the picture, and we're going to learn what gear you need if you're a beginner. And I'm going to be talking about cameras, and I'm going to be talking about microphones, and this is going to be super, super fun. And this is part 3 of my series, Permission to Create. And this one is going to be all about gear that is simple, that is fun, and that will get you ready to start recording. So, what can you expect from this time with me? That so generous you are very generous with your time, and you're here and you're ready to learn. You're somebody who want to remove that block, and you want to get started. So you are going to learn the how you can pick your right gear. And one of the tools that we use here at PSS Creative Media to help our clients to choose the right gear for their needs. And I'm also going to show you, or you're going to get to take a peek on one of the blueprints, some of the blueprints that I have created for my clients and their different projects of their studios with the gear that they have used. So you can use those as an inspiration, build your own studio. And I'm going to do live demonstrations of 2 of the cameras that we recommend here for beginners. We have recommended those to clients, and we have them here in our studio as well. They are very simple to use, very beginner friendly, and I'm going to be demonstrating those to you, how I look using the different cameras, so you can see what kind of quality you can expect from these cameras. And then I'm going to share with you a practical outline that I have for you to start creating your first video, or if you are already creating videos, you can use this outline for your future videos. And one trick that I'm trying to implement in my content that is going to help you just get loose and also to look more natural when you are recording your videos. So, if this is your first time here, I'm Veronica, and this is PSS Creative Media, and we help creators and professionals make content that feels natural, powerful, and true to their voices. If this is you, I invite you to subscribe to our channel, and also so you can follow the series Permission to Create. Okay, so one of the mistakes that I've seen people doing over and over and over is that they have this idea that they want to start creating content. They've seen other people making content, and they're just, content is just something that is becoming more and more popular, whether you want to make content for your business or whether you want to become a full-time content creator. They get this idea, and the first thing that they do is that they go to Amazon and they buy a bunch of gear that they end up not using, and spending thousands of dollars, and then the gear is just going to be in like the corner of your room just gathering dust, and you're not creating the content that you want to create. So that is something that I want to help you with. If you've done this, like, it's totally okay, but that is something that I want to help my clients during the process of planning their studios and just getting the right equipment that they need based on the skills that they have and based on their budget and their space. So something that I do is that first I meet with my client and I try to gather as much information as I can from their project. What are their goals? How do they see themselves in a few years after making content consistently? What is their vibe? And also I try to learn as much as I can from their personality, and I ask them to send me photos of the space. And then after that, I create a studio blueprint. Is a design where I design the entire space, and I add all of the furniture, all of the things that will go on the backdrop. I add all of the gear that they will be using, or the gear suggestions that we have for them with the different packages. So it's this really fun tool this really fun part of the process of planning the whole studio, because my clients get to see how their spaces are going to look and what type of equipment they will need. And it's also fun for me because I get to create a whole design, and I find a lot of enjoyment on creating spaces and designing spaces for my clients. So this tool, how is it going to help you? It's going to help you visualize where you're going to put your equipment. It's going to help you visualize also the type of gear that you need and how it all fits together. And it also has every image, every camera, down to the cables that we are recommending. They all have links that take you to the Amazon. What's going on with me? What's going on?
I think you need a reset.
I need water.
I think you need a reset. Take a water and a reset. I'll take over for a moment, Tico. You're struggling more than usual, and I find it to be odd because just because of like that red shirt and like how confident you look. And
I don't know what's going on.
Yes, but
and for a moment I was like, just like not breathing.
And for a moment I was like, what is she even talking about?
Yeah, what's going on? So
let's just
let me go back.
A recap.
Let me go back.
A quick summary recap.
A quick summary.
Catch those who may have just joined up to speed.
Yes. So first of all, welcome. This is PSS Creative Media, and I am Veronica, and we help creators and professionals to make content that feels natural, powerful, and true to their voices. Once again, if this is you, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. And this is part of a series that I created called Permission to Create. And we're going to be talking about equipment for beginners. So if you are a beginner, this is a very, very good resource for you. And we're going to get you recording. We're going to get you with the right equipment to get started. And you are going to look professional. You're going to look very good. And at the same time, we're going to, ease into gear. Gear doesn't have to be scary. Gear doesn't have to be this thing that we avoid at all cost is going to be something that they are your tools, the tools that you'll use to record your message, and that message will be broadcasted, shared with the world. So gear is good, right? Yay.
Gear is your friend.
Gear is your friend.
Gear is your friend.
Gear is your friend. So the first thing that I do when I meet with a client and we are in the planning stages of their project, then I gather a lot of information from them. I want to gather as much as I can from the goals that they have for their show, if they're planning a show or if they just want to start a YouTube channel, and also what's their vibe and their personality. And I go and watch content that maybe they have already recorded. They send me photos of the space that they're thinking about turning into their studio. And then from there, I go to Canva and I start designing their studio. And this is a very fun part of the project for me because I'm a visual person, and it's a different thing to share with a client, oh, you're going to be buying the Sony CVE10 and you're going to be doing this and you're going to be doing that. It's a totally different story or experience to share with them a visual of how their studio is going to look like. So that's what I do. And then to the Canva design, I add all of the furniture that they have or the furniture that I recommend, props and things that I want them to add to the backdrop for their videos. And also we add the equipment that we recommend for the space and the equipment, the graphics for the equipment. They're all linked to Amazon, so they can click on the image and then they are taken to Amazon to the right equipment that we're recommending, and then from there they can just add it to the shopping cart, and voila! They have a whole list of things that they need, and they know how it's going to do, how the gear and everything is going to look in their spaces. Super fun thing to do, and you can do it too. We're going to show you how you can do it, how you can create this. It's very easy. It's very fun, and it's going to save you a ton of headache. It's going to save you thousands of dollars, and is going to provide you with a roadmap of what you need for your space, depending on what kind of show you're recording or what kind of content you're recording. We have you covered. And part of this tool, I've shared with you all of the different blueprints that I have created and accumulated over the different projects that I worked with, that I have created for clients, and is going to be super fun. And Steven is going to do a demonstration of the tool because he's a lot better when it comes to tutorials and explaining things. And I'm sure you don't want me to say like the thingy-majingy and click and the thingity and all of that. So he's better than me. He created the tool. So Steven,
take it away.
Take it away.
Actually, we created the tool together. As Veronica said, this tool is called it's one of our top selling products, a newer product. If you've watched our videos, you see me advertising it on all of my Get Creative videos on Wednesdays. It's our Studio Blueprint Builder. And it's really cool because we've been trying to create products that are more interactive and more helpful and really save as much possible time. And something that's tricky about people who are starting video podcasts and YouTube channels is that they have different situations, different budgets, different goals in mind, different formats for their shows. Maybe they want to be a solo podcaster. Maybe they want to bring guests into their place and actually do like a co-hosted podcast locally with a few different cameras. Or maybe they are meeting with people virtually on a solution like Riverside. So this is where the headache comes in. And Veronica mentioned like 30% of people don't even get into any of this because of all this headache. Like, what gear do I need? Maybe even what format should I choose? So we have created our Studio Blueprint Builder after, really years of working with clients and working with students inside of our DIY programs and helping people to start their shows. This is fully interactive. And as a special treat for those of you who are watching the live stream, and I don't know if this is something you were going to announce or not, Veronica.
You can announce it.
Okay, so we are giving away, is it the first 10 who sign up? Okay, so This studio blueprint that I'm going to be sharing with you actually right here, the Studio Blueprint Builder, I'm going to give you a tour actually inside of the product itself. Right now it goes for $97. That's the price that you will find it at our storefront, PSS Media. It's pss.media/shop. That's where you will find our products. And this one goes for $97. But for those of you who are tuning in right now, for the first 10 people that comment Blueprint here in this live stream, we will send you a unique coupon code to get 100% off, to get this product for free, so you can get in there and start building your own studio and experience the Blueprint experience, because it's really cool. So comment Blueprint here. And the first 10 people who comment Blueprint, we are going to send you 100% off coupon, your own unique coupon. And there's only 10 of those available. So do it right now. And with that, let's cue a little music for this demonstration, shall we? I think this will be appropriate.
Yes.
Yes. Now, here we are inside the Studio Blueprint Builder. So this starts off like a online program. Here we hosted this in Kajabi, which is a fun favorite program of ours. And when you start off, you get some instructional stuff. I walk you through what you're going to need to know. And then, of course, we get to building right off the bat. And then you just click here on the Studio Blueprint Builder, and you're taken to your own custom Canva template. And here you would choose to use template for a new design, or you would make your own copy of it. And when you do, now I'm in Canva. And you don't need Canva Pro for this. You just need a regular Canva subscription. If you've never been in Canva before either, it doesn't matter, because it's very intuitive. And part of the program itself has walkthrough video lessons that will walk you through essentially what I'm walking you through right now. And so you'll see that here as well too. This video,
the SM7B,
goes along with this Canva presentation here, is me walking you through explaining every part of the process, as well as explaining each category of gear and why you might consider each category of gear. And we really kind of separate that into what you can think of as beginner, intermediate and professional, or beginner, consumer, right, and prosumer equipment categories. So no matter whatever your budget is, whatever the size of your room or the size of your studio is, we've got you covered. And it starts off really fun. This is one of those limitless designs that go on forever and ever in Canva. So you can follow the instructions right here in the Canva design to crop this here to your own room dimensions. And each one of these squares represents a square foot of your room. So you can very easily create whatever dimension of your room, whatever it may be, by moving it around like this. And then we left some really fun furniture here that you can move around so that you can really start visualizing how you want your studio to look, as well as window and door situations. So right off the bat, you can already start designing what your room looks like. You have a couple windows on maybe the south side of your room right here. This is the door that pops in that lets you into the room. Of course, you have other windows you can rotate and put those where you want. So now you know where all of your windows are at, which will help you to inform where you're actually going to have to set up your camera, which wall you're going to choose as your backdrop. All of this stuff, as Veronica mentioned, is where she starts with clients, because it's just so overwhelming to even know where to set up to begin with. So we take a look at their space, we take a look at their room, and then we start arranging and kind of doing the fun dance with furniture. I think my favorite part of this is the resizable rugs. I mean, come on. You can resize a rug. And I mean, you could even give it your own brand colors if you wanted to. And then, so you can resize desks, resize rugs. And then we even put some podcasters in here that you can put in here as well. Along the way, I do share quick keys and tips for learning how to use Canva, making Canva a little more approachable and fun for you. But this is your own template. You can copy it. You can replace it. You can make a mess in it. If you make so much of a mess that you don't know what to do, you just pop back into the program again and click on this button again and make a new copy of your own blueprint, which is really cool. And then finally, once you decide the equipment that you want, you can grab it and drag it up here. You can also just grab it, copy and paste it up here. And notice there's an Amazon link attached to each picture. So I go through every camera and the camera lens combination. I go through my recommendations for where to start at each stage of where you're at in your podcast. And we do it in arguably the most concise possible way I could even imagine. And so everything that you'll need when it comes to camera equipment at any stage that you're at, you have it here. You're covered in all of our top, and this is updated with all of our top PSS Creative Media's top gear selections. So these are the top selections of 2025, tried and tested, awesome cameras and lighting and microphones and cables and adapters and everything you'll need so that you make sure that when you do get all the gear, you do have everything you need. And as Veronica said, you have all the doodads and everything in place. And this is how you're going to look professional, sound professional, make the right purchasing decisions, and make the right, not waste a lot of money or time or effort trying to build your studio. So make sure you grab the free copy of this program. It's, again, just drop Blueprint here where you're watching in the comments, and we will send you a coupon code for that. So with that, I believe that's the tour. Now, Veronica also mentioned that she leaves real world actual client examples in the program as well too, and she does. So as you continue through the program, this is the pro tips where we get even more into pro tips, and I go through some specific setups that we use with real clients, and some hacks and extra pieces of equipment that you can use to really superpower what you're doing, including the famous all-around two-person setup podcast made popular by the Diary of the CEO or the Rich Roll podcast or the Huberman Lab podcast. The exact gear and equipment and setup that they use in their podcasts is covered here. And you will see then there's this other button here that you can click on, Real Client Studio Samples. And when you do, look at this, you have a whole new template that you can click and say, use template for new design. And now here is your own template of this where you can actually see our Real Client Studio Samples. And there's a short video that walks through this and explains, a little bit about our client situation, where they were at budget-wise, what the goals they had for their podcast were. And as it so happens, they cover a wide range, pretty much most of the scenarios. So you'll be able to relate to one of them very easily. And you'll see here, this was a client of ours who went for more of a prosumer Sony camera, and a couple of these newer LED panel lights, and that's all that he needed. And in addition to that, he made sure to get the newer soft boxes that went with these panel lights. And of course, everything he needed to set it up to his computer, including this amazing product, the Elgato teleprompter, the tripod, the microphone stand, and then the Elgato Cam Link to actually turn HDMI into USB that can be read by your computer, and the USB-C to USB adapter, and the SD card, and the dummy battery for the camera. All these things that you might forget and start pulling your hair out and spend weeks trying to figure out how to get some of this equipment to work properly, and maybe just give up on the whole thing together. And we don't want you giving up. We want to see you create. We want to see you get creating fast and quick. One thing that is sort of a strategy of ours and a belief of ours, and something that we teach to all of our clients, something that I talk about in my book, my recently published book, The Video Podcasting Playbook for Professionals, that you can find on Amazon, and we'll also drop a link for that here in the description, is that it's really just getting started. That's really what it is. And so even before all this gear comes, you could legitimately just use the camera on your MacBook Pro or on your laptop. You could use your phone. You don't need any of this fancy gear. The true lessons, the true moments that are going to help you grow and that are going to reach an audience, the things that really matter actually happen. Those lessons actually happen in the action of recording and in the action of actually creating your episodes and your videos for YouTube. So with that, I will send it back over to Veronica. She has a lot of really cool things in store for you for the remainder of this live stream, including demoing some of her top favorite pieces of equipment, some of which we saw briefly in the Studio Blueprint Builder. Remember to comment Blueprint, and we will send you your free 100% access to the Studio Blueprint Builder. Back to you, Veronica.
Cameras that we recommend for beginners.
Sorry, I cut you off at the beginning. You'll have to start again.
Oh, okay. So what are the two cameras that we recommend for beginners? Well, the first one is the Osmo Pocket 3, and I'm going to switch to that camera right now so you can see how I look in that camera, and we can talk about how it works and all of that. Here I am. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so what I like about this camera, I mean, the list goes on and on and on. but it's super light. It's a vlogging camera, but we're not gonna be vlogging, but unless you want to. The good thing about this camera is that it's super lightweight, and you can take it anywhere. You can put it in your purse. You can, just put it in your backpack or in your fanny pack. I did that on a recent trip that we went to, and we took the Osmo Pocket 3. It has a very good quality picture, as you can see. The room looks bigger than it is with this type of camera. And I just love how easy it is to use. And because it's a vlogging camera, like you can hold it with your hand. And this is perfect if you're going to be recording your content, if you're going to be recording, whether you want to record videos for YouTube or you want to record a show, a video podcast, and you can only do it at a certain times a day. Another thing that we really go by.
Veronica, sorry to stop you there. I somehow messed things up. You could go back to your other camera.
Oh, okay. So something that you can do is, when you are considering buying equipment, is to make sure that the equipment that you buy fits into your lifestyle, into your schedule, into.
There we go. We're back in the Osmo Pocket 3 again.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna repeat that.
I had some kind of text.
I'm gonna repeat that.
I was trying to show a picture of the Osmo Pocket 3 and wound up doing it totally in the wrong way. And so, yeah.
So, shit happens during a live stream. But this camera is perfect if you want to record on the go. Summer is coming, and maybe you have an event that you're attending. Maybe you're just traveling with your kids, and you don't have the same amount of time, or you want to record content on the go. This is the perfect camera for that. And it's a gimbal type of camera, which means that even if you're holding it with your hand, or you are you are getting one of the attachments that allows you to put the camera in your car, and you want to record your thoughts, you want to record your content while you're driving, then because it has the gimbal technology, then the picture is not going to be jumpy, or it's going to look bad, because it has this technology. It has different attachments and different things that you can add to the camera to make it so you can record in different spaces. Right now it's sat on a tripod, that's why it's not moving, but I can hold it and I can move the camera up, down. It has this little button that you can toggle up or down, or toggle will be the correct thing, the toggle.
Yeah, it has a joystick. Toggle
a joystick. It has a joystick type of button that you can move up and down, or right or left or right, depending on.
Also, if you sort of double click on your face there, it'll enter into face tracking mode, I believe. Yeah. Somehow you can get this green thing to turn on. Did the green box turn on your face?
Yes.
There we go. Now,
so now if I move, like, check this out. Oh, without moving the disc.
Uh-huh.
Huh. Look how cool this is.
It's cool that it works as a webcam too.
So you can, record your videos, and you don't have to be static and not moving. You can just move, and the camera will move with you. How cool is that? Am I forgetting to say something else about the Osmo Pocket 3?
I don't think so. Now put the joystick down a little bit, so the face tracking mode will always kind of like center your face in the middle of the frame.
Oh, should I?
No, it's okay. You can keep it there. Yeah.
As far as the audio, if you purchase the creator combo of the Osmo Pocket 3, then you get a wireless microphone. It's not this one. This is a different microphone. But you get a wireless microphone that connects remotely. Remotely. Wirelessly. It comes with a microphone that connects wirelessly to the Osmo Pocket 3. and you get like really, really good audio. But if you want, you can connect this one too, right?
Yeah, you
To
can
the
really
Osmo Pocket
connect.
3?
You can connect kind of any microphone you can imagine. We've tested almost every mic that we can
So
think
yeah,
of
we
with it.
tested USB microphone, the Shure, no, not the Shure,
We did. We
the
tested the Shure MV7. We tested the
oh yeah,
Rode,
the Shure
the Rode
MV7 and
PodMic
the
USB,
yeah.
the Samson Q2U, the ATR 2100.
Oh boy.
The list goes on and on.
Oh boy, where was I?
I don't know where you were.
Where was I? But this is one of my favorite microphones. And if you're going to be recording on the go, if you're going to be interviewing people, this is the Rode Interview Pro mic. And I recommend it. Like, check this out. It doesn't have any cables. So it connects to the camera also wirelessly.
Yeah, let me turn that on. And I'll turn your other mic off so that they can hear it. It's on. I just need to unmute.
It's on.
Yeah. There you go.
I don't know if you can hear me talking through it, but you can get like really, really good audio, looking professional, and with a camera that is going to cover you no matter where you move. I mean, this is a really cool setup. This is all you need if if you're brand new, and if you are afraid of the big cameras, bulky cameras. This is a great way to start. Now, there are a few drawbacks with this camera, is that it's not going to give you that blur background type of video that you see in professional videos on YouTube. Like, I really love that look, that the whatever noise is in your backdrop is just blurred a little bit, and the focus of the whole video is on you, so you don't have that. And then also, well, this is a vlogging camera, so you're not going to get as much detail with this lens. Yeah.
Yes, you don't get as much detail, but I mean, it really is kind of like our go-to. Like, we love it for.
I mean, but look how good.
Yeah, it looks really incredible. I think that what I love, it's just amazing to me, everything that you can do with it. Like, so Veronica's we're using it as a web camera right now, which means it doesn't rely on the battery power of the camera either. So you can use it as a web camera. I just love how incognito it is. And then when you pair it up with the DJI Mic Minis, which you can also use 2 of them with it, which we just did for this cool road trip video that's coming out soon on our channel. And like, it's so much less, more incognito than a phone. So even if you're like in public trying to record something with your phone, it's going to catch people's attention more than if you were in public recording with one of these. And also the gimbal makes the movement so awesome.
Yes.
And it's fairly affordable too for what it is. So even though it's thought of as an action camera, it's kind of one of our go-tos for a beginner camera.
Yes, it is. I love it. I love this microphone. Am I done with it, or can I keep holding it?
You can keep holding it if you want.
Okay, so our next pick is the Sony CVE10. And this one right here. I mean, you can see the difference if we can switch. So this is the Osmo.
Okay, hold on one second. Osmo.
And this is the Sony CVE10, ZVE10 with the 16 millimeter Sigma lens. Now you can see the difference in the picture. You can see that the background is a little blurred, that I look different. Also with the Sony ZVE10, you have different settings that you can adjust, or you can just set the camera on auto settings and forget it. But if you are more into just customizing the way that you look, you can get into this camera and mess with the picture a little bit more. One of the things that I like about this camera is that, I don't know if you noticed, but there's a filter on my face. You can make this very subtle. It's like an Instagram filter. And like, you look like amazing. It's just like right off the bat, like you don't need anything else. And I like the 60 millimeter Sigma lens, because it makes the room look bigger than it is. So this is a camera that I use in my office, because my office is smaller than the studio. and it makes the room look bigger. Then, this is a camera that is going to need a tripod because, the lens is heavy, and this is just a camera, a big camera. So you're going to need a sturdy tripod for the camera. You are also going to need a microphone, of course. You're not going to rely on the camera for the audio because if you're recording a video podcast, then you need to get good audio so you can, do the whole distribution of the audio and the video, and you're good if people want to just listen to your show or watch you. And even if you're recording just a video for YouTube, like, audio is more important than video. If a video looks amazing but it has bad audio, then I don't even see through it. I'm done. So audio is important. So as you can see, like, this camera it gives you more of a polished look. You can see like more detail in the picture. You can, the colors are more vivid, and you get better quality, studio-like quality with this Sony camera. Anything else that you want to add, Mr. Tech Chico? Mr. Tech Chico.
Mr. Know-It-All guy.
Mr. Know-It-All. Stealing the show from me.
The Sony ZV-E10 is kind of, it's our go-to. It's your first stage into professional photography. So it's definitely still on the consumer side of things. And it's kind of the upgrade from the Sony ZV-1, which is what I'm using right now. So you can see the difference between the ZV-1. Take a look and see if you could see all that noise in the background behind me. It almost looks like there's these flying particles on the blue part of the wall behind me. That's an example of the difference between the Sony ZV-1 and the ZV-E10. You don't see as much noise. It performs better generally in low light situations. And the reason for that isn't so much the camera. The reason is the lens that's attached to the camera. So that's really the power of this camera, is you can detach any number of lenses to it. And so, you can attach any of Sony's lenses, really high quality cinema style lenses to it. Of course, those lenses get more and more expensive as you go. The Sigma 16mm is a particular amazing pairing with this camera because the Sigma gets this kind of soft feeling to it right off the bat. And also there's something going on with the Sony ZV-E10 that's a little technical that you may or may not need to worry about. It's called a crop sensor. And a crop sensor actually happens in some of the cheaper Sony cameras. And that basically just zooms in on the lens a little bit, is the easy way of thinking about it. So 16mm is the focal length or the size of the lens, and that's typically a very wide angle. And with a crop sensor, and I believe the sensor is like 1.4 or 1.5, you can multiply whatever the focal length is by that 1.5. And so 16mm gets closer to about 25 or 28mm with that crop sensor. And so that's why I think a lot of creators love the 16mm with this one, because it's still, you're getting more of that 28mm look, but you're still having what's thought of as a fast lens because it lets a lot of light in. So unlike my camera here that has a zoom lens on it that I can zoom in and out with the Sony ZV-1, because it has a zoom lens, it doesn't have as much real estate, as much glass, it doesn't let as much light in. And so for that reason, it has to rely on artificial light or more ISO, which is the artificial light in these cameras. And so I'm getting this particles and this kind of low res quality look about it. So great camera. Again, you can use it as a web camera. You can use it as a video podcasting camera. You can get 4K quality, and you can get 4K quality to spit out the HDMI cable into a solution like Riverside, which is what we do for clients. We're actually setting up a client right now with that. And he's very happy with it because you can get it directly into Riverside that way. And you'd be amazed the quality you can get out of Riverside. So now you don't even need to record into a solution on your computer. You can record directly into a solution like Riverside and never have to worry about file management or recording to an SD card or anything like that. So there's a lot of versatility with it, and maybe a little bit more of a learning curve than what you get with the Osmo Pocket 3. The Osmo Pocket 3, you just pull it out of the box and it works, and it's amazing. It has all the auto features on it like a phone. But with the ZV-E10, you do need to kind of walk through probably a few tutorial videos. And there are some settings on the camera that you need to adjust so that it doesn't auto turn off on you, so that you get the right HDMI output. And also so that you can use the autofocus feature on it, which is really cool. It has a touch feature that allows you to put a little box around your face or around the thing you want to keep in focus. I have something like that going on too, but like Veronica could illustrate that. If you were to put your hand in front, kind of up way in front of your face, like that, you see how quickly that autofocus focuses on her hand, and now move your hand and now it focuses. I mean, that's a fast autofocus. What this does is it means that as she moves her hands around, or if she has a podcast mic on the lower part of the frame, the camera intelligence won't try to focus on those things. It'll just keep her face in crystal clear focus. So a lot of really cool features.
So whether you go with the Osmo Pocket 3 or with the Sony ZV-E10 and the 16 millimeter Sigma lens or any other type of lens, then you are going to record something, right? And that's the other block that we want to remove. And it's like, okay, I press record and then what do I say? And how do I say it? And it's not going to look natural. It's not going to look it's going to look like I'm nervous and that I don't know what to say. And imposter syndrome is going to kick in. And who's going to watch this? Nobody's going to care, and all of that. And the way that we are going to remove this, and that takes me to our next point, is first we need to make a batch of videos. We need to start making as many videos as we can in a very short amount of time, just to get that out of our system. Just focus on that. Don't think about who's going to be watching these videos, who is going to be watching that. If you're recording a video podcast, who's going to be watching this episodes. People are not going to like my performance. I'm going to be judged. I don't like the way I look. I don't like the way I sound. I'm not prepared for this. How do I know? It's because those are the things that go through my head every time I try to record content. And maybe if you've been watching this live stream from the very beginning, I had all of those things in my head, and that's why I was stumbling upon my words and not relying on what I have written on an outline, instead of just being okay with the fact that I know what I know, and that I planned the whole thing, and that it's okay, and I'm going to be okay. So we're going to get that out of our system, and we're going to record as many videos as we can. I would say just record 5 videos, and then you can start watching them and judging yourself and all that. The other thing that I recommend is that when you are recording your content, that you look into the lens, that you look into the camera, and you look and you talk to the lens like it's your friend. You're going to talk to the lens like it's a person. And I know that is difficult because it's just a gear, it's just an object. It's not going to, you're not going to see whether they're liking what you're saying, or whether they're smiling, or whether they are being receptive to what you're saying. But the way that you'll overcome that is just in your head imagining that you are talking to a real person. Because if we don't do this, then the whole thing looks like you are not even there, and you're not connecting with your viewer, you're not connecting with your audience, and the whole thing is super awkward. I have recorded a lot of videos like that, and I can tell you this is a better way. And then the other thing that you have to think about is that people watching your content, they'll be watching those videos or listening to that podcast episode alone. So the more that you can put this in your mind and understand that you're just talking to one person, and then you talk directly into the lens, that's going to help you with your performance, and is going to help you to relax in your body, and to trust that whatever comes out of your mouth is the right thing to say, and that you're just talking. You're just talking. That's all that you are doing. So I have a fun exercise for you. I want you to record something, and I want you to share it with me. You can share it in the comments, or you can go to PSS Creative Media on Instagram and share it there on my DMs, and I will give you feedback. It's super fun. So after you have recorded your video or your video podcast, make sure that you grab the link and then you share it with me so I can give you feedback. But this is the outline that I have for you. If you're worried about what am I going to say, like I have no idea what to say, or I have no idea how to organize my thoughts or anything. So, or maybe you're recording solo, you don't have anybody there to interact with. So the first thing that you are going to say, and the title for this is what I've learned from doing what I do. And doing what you do can be anything. It can be what I learned from being a mom, or what I've learned from being an attorney, or what I learned from going through this journey. And then the points, the main points under that title. The first one is, or how you're going to start with. You don't have to, hey, welcome to my channel. None of that. None of that. You're just going to start with a story, because that's how we connect with other people, is through stories. And that's how you're going to get the attention of your viewer right away. So the first thing that you're going to say is, when I first started, when I started X, I had no idea what I was getting into. So it can be like, when I became a mom, I had no idea what I was getting into. When I had my first child, I had no idea what I was getting into. When I moved to the US, I had no idea what I was getting into. Or when I got my first job, or whatever your experience is. Or you can start also with people think, and then your industry. And then it's about X, but here's what I have learned. So it's kind of like going against what the main assumption is about your industry or what you do. So people think that it's very easy for maybe a Spanish speaking person to that have no trained in English, then move to the US and start talking in English. But here's what I have learned. It's not easy. Or you can adapt it to whatever you went through. So if your intros are like this, the first option is to start with a story, as when I first started, blah blah blah. Or the other one is like to go against a popular belief. I can guarantee you that you will get the attention of your viewer. And then after that, you just share 3 points or 3 honest lessons that you learned. So, I had no idea what I was getting into when I became a mother, or when I had my first child. Then the 3 lessons that you can share, just to give you an example, is the first one is that you don't need to spend thousands of dollars in baby gear. That you don't need like every Ducatod and stroller and thingy and clothes and all the things that people tell you to buy, that you don't need all of that for your first baby. And the third one can be you need to get some sleep. The second one can be you need to get some sleep, and the third one, get help, get people to help you, your family or whatever. So those 3 can be like the 3 things that you learned. And the good thing about this type of outline is that it's very honest to your experience. You're not regurgitating something that somebody else lived through or that somebody else told you. You are talking from experience. And that's one of the things that have helped me with being confident making content, is to be more of documentarian instead of trying to teach people something that that I haven't gone through myself. having gone through myself. So for example, if I want to teach you about, let's say, riding a bike, or if I want to teach you about, taking dancing lessons, like that's the way that I decompress from creating content, being a content creator and running a business. I'm going to start to taking dancing lessons. So I don't have to show up and tell you that that's something that you should do. Or I can do that, but I'm not going to have the same confidence if I go through the whole process and I tell you, this is what happened, it didn't work, or that I had the time of my life. So when you talk from your experience, it makes it so you own your truth, and you're not borrowing information from somebody else. So that's sorry, I deviated, but that's an important point. Be a documentarian. And then towards the end of the video, after you have had your 3 honest lessons or your 3 points, then you summarize it all with what you learned about the whole experience. Going back to our example of having our first baby, is that that you don't need to spend too much money on your first baby, that fatigue is going to be your friend, but it's okay, you can rely on other people, ask for help to so you can go through that experience. And that's you summarizing the 3 points. And then an invitation, at the end, like if you are there, if you're having your first child and you're nervous, or maybe you're in the thick of it, just know that you're not alone. Just know that you just share your experience, and just send them off with a positive note. So to wrap it all up, remember, I don't want you to keep watching content. I don't want you to keep consuming content, watching other people making videos. I want you to start creating your own content. I want you to start making your own videos. And we gave you the tools that you are going to need. I gave you the roadmap for that very first episode. There's the blueprint that's going to help you create your own studio. Even if it's just a little area in your kitchen, that's going to be your studio. Let's call it how it is. It's not going to be like, oh, it's just this little. No, don't be modest. It's a studio, and you're going to plan it with the blueprint. And I want to encourage you to try it. It's a very, very useful tool. Pick a camera. I want you to pick a camera. It can be either the Osmo Pocket 3, it can be the Sony ZV-E10, or it can be any of the other cameras that we suggest on the blueprint, and record your first video. The only way to get good, to really look like the pros, or to really get to the point where the people that you admire, with the confidence and the equipment and the help around you, is you have to start where you are. You have to look around you, what you have, what are the resources, and just use them and start doing the thing. We didn't start with all the confidence. We didn't start with all of the equipment and all of the knowledge. It has been a journey for us as content creators to build our studio, to build our confidence, to build the way that we show up, to try different formats, to try new things that, at the end of the day, what we want and what we care about is to connect with you, is to help you get started, is to get you unstuck. Because I know that you have a message to share. I know that you have a lot of things to say, but there's this thing bottling you. You have this thing in your mind telling you that no, that you don't have anything to say, that it doesn't matter, that there are other people who are making fool of themselves, and you don't want to do the same. Just right now, just forget about any of those things and focus on creating. You have a place in the content creator industry. You have a place here on YouTube. You have an audience waiting for you. So let's do it. Let's get started. Shall we?
Let's do it. I'm excited.
Yes. Steven is excited, and he's not excited for things very often.
Really? I feel like I'm always excited. I might be too excited.
So, like I said, this is video number 3 of Permission to Create. And I'm putting this series together for you, but also for me. I have one of those who have that voice in my head that nobody cares, and that here's another video that nobody's gonna watch, and blah blah blah.
We call it Boohoo Town.
Boohoo Town.
Or Mopey Miko.
Mopey Miko. I'm the mayor of Boohoo Town. So none of that. And the next video you will also enjoy. I have no idea because I'm planning this as I go. I'm going to be honest with you. But I hope that you get to tune in next Thursday, 12 p.m. Eastern Time here on Content Sancocho. If you want to watch the other 2 videos that I have created on this series, you can do so right here. And one is to how to find a niche, or whether you need a niche to get started creating content. And then the other one I share with me.
Oh boy.
And then in the other video I share like how you can stand up on YouTube. And it just to let you know, it doesn't take much. It's not a strategy. It's just simply showing up as you. Okay? Then see you next Thursday. Bye.